Hi, and welcome back to another episode of Cooking with the Cripple. I'm your host, the Cripple, and today we're going to be trying something old, something new. We are going to be doing green bean casserole again, but this time, instead of using cream of mushroom soup, we're going to be using cream of chicken. But I don't know how this is going to turn out, but I really hope that it works. And as you can hear in the background, I've got the chicken started right here, if I can put my finger on it, right there. And then we're going to be just adding in chicken chunks, I guess. And I've got to go flip those for a minute. And well, not for a minute. I'm going to cook them for 10 minutes on each side. But I got to go flip those in a minute. So I'll be right back, and then I'll continue explaining what we're going to be doing. So I checked the time. I've still got 1 minute. And so essentially what we're going to be doing is we're going to be making green bean casserole, but instead of the cream of mushroom soup, like I said, we're going to be using cream of chicken. And I've got the chicken cooking just to add just a little bit more chicken flavor, I guess, and just a little bit more texture to it. And so you want to cook that for 10 minutes on each side. Well, on my stove, it's 10 minutes on each side. And if I find out that that's not good enough, I'll cook it for more. You guys don't need to know about that. But just cook it until you're satisfied with it, but trust me, you want to cook it all the way through because I've been sick from eating raw chicken before. So just trust me, you want to cook it all the way through. So what we're going to do is we're going to open all these cans and then check on that. Oh, and we're going to be trying a brand new recipe. We're going to be trying cream spinach for the first time. So I hope that works out well. It's not going to look as pretty as, let's say, on one of the recipe sites. It's not going to look as pretty as that because I'm using canned spinach, not fresh spinach. So I'm going to go check on the chicken and flip it if it needs to be flipped, and then I'll be right back. But I just checked on the chicken, and to be totally honest, I think that's the best chicken I've ever made. It's, excuse me again. Why does it always come in threes? But, and it never fails. I always sneeze in threes or fours or fives, one of those, but it's usually only threes, and then I burp in threes. But, so anyways, like I was explaining, we're going to do cream spinach, and then, I'm going to do the, I'm sorry, I blanked. We're going to do the green bean casserole. You guys can tell I haven't done this in a while. And I know I said that I was going to do it at the end of this month, but some plans fell through because I just don't have the money. So if the person that I made plans with is watching this, I love you, and I'm sorry, Grandpa. And yeah, I know I just spelled out who it is, but oh well. I just wanted him to know that I was talking to him. But I'm going to go check on that, and then I'm going to start uncanning this stuff. Well, opening this stuff, uncanning. But yeah, let's see how this works out. I'm excited about the cream spinach, but I'm also excited because this is the first time I'm doing something different in a recipe versus just following the recipe. So I will see you guys in a minute. Alright, so now that we've got all our cans open, look at that creamy goodness. Look at that creamy goodness. But now that we've got all our cans open, we're going to just wait out the 5 more minutes that we've got. And then we're going to start with, preheat your oven to 400 degrees, just like the green bean casserole I did before. And we're going to treat it for 15 minutes, or we're going to cook it for 15 minutes, just like before. And I've also got these breadcrumbs that I didn't have before, but we're still going to use the Parmesan cheese. So I want to just try a small mixture and see how that works out. Well, by small mixture, I mean I'm going to put one on top of the other on top of the other. So we're just going to do that. And then, yeah. This is a really simple thing if you've only got like 20-30 minutes to cook dinner. Alright, so once this gets done cooking, this will come into play. And I remembered where I did this before, using the chicken just as a base or whatever you want to call it. We did this in the pasta salad episode. So we're going to treat it the same way. We're going to just slice it up for the chicken itself. And then we're going to treat it the same way we did with the green beans casserole. So just combine the two, and then we're good. So I'll still show all those steps. It's just I'm just letting you guys know. But yeah, so I've got 2 more minutes, and then it'll be good on each side. And like I said, I'll cut into it, see if it's good, and if it's not good, I'll just keep cooking it until it's done, and I'll tell you guys how much I added to it. So I'll be back in 1 moment. Alright, this looks perfect, so we're just going to slice this up very thinly, just to add a little bit of texture to our green bean casserole. And you don't really need the skin, so I'm going to save that for later, because that's the benefit of being the cook, is you get to have the good parts to yourself. Oh, it's so delicious looking. But I'm just going to slice it up just like you would an onion. Just very, very finely. And I'm actually testing it to see if... yeah, that might need a minute or two. So I will be right back. I'm going to cook this for a little bit longer. And then I'll be right back. Alright, so as you can see, I've got, I think it was a third of a stick, or no, a third of a cup of that spoon, first of all. Third of a cup of butter, and we're just going to melt this down, and then we're going to add in the flour for the sauce of the cream spinach, because we're multitasking because this is taking forever to cook, but that's okay, no big deal. But so just melt this down, and then I think it's a fourth of a cup of flour that we're going to be adding into the mix. I will be right back. I'm going to let you guys know what it is, and then, yeah, we'll get started. Alright, so I made an oopsie by telling you guys a cup. It's actually just 4 tablespoons, so I'm sorry. So, yeah, just 4 tablespoons into this, and then you're going to whisk, if I can talk, whisk it thoroughly until it's golden brown, and then we're going to continue on. So I'm going to find my teaspoon. Where's my tablespoon? Here we go. 4 of these bad boys. So that's just of flour, and I'll be right back. I'm going to go do that after this melts, which shouldn't be too long because it's only the size of that. It's only that big. So it shouldn't take too long, and I'll be right back. Oh, and you want to move the butter around so that it doesn't burn, just so you guys know. Alright, as you can see, the batter type stuff is golden brown. So now we're going to throw in our milk. We're going to use 1 cup of milk, and we're going to use, I think, about that much nutmeg. Well, actually, it's about that much nutmeg. Let me get in the white part. About that much nutmeg in the bottom, and then just throw in whatever seasoning you want to. So I'll be right back. I gotta go take care of something. Alright, so now that I took care of what I need to take care of, we're going to whisk this for about 5 minutes. That's what the recipe I'm following says. But, most of the recipes that I'm following are passed down, or I find them. So this one is one of the latter. So if it doesn't turn out quite right, that's okay because it's not my recipe. So we're just going to continuously whisk this for about 5 minutes. And I didn't specify what spice I was using because it doesn't. It says the recipe I'm following says cayenne pepper. I threw in some, what are those called? Those pizza type things. And it doesn't really matter. You can just throw in whatever you want to. Just make it your own. So I'm going to whisk this for another 4 minutes, and then we'll get the rock and rolling. 3 minutes now. What essentially is happening here is we're just letting it thicken and just turn into a more battery type sauce. So you see how it's getting thick? We don't want it to be that thick, but I hope that'll not scamper off. What's the word I'm looking for? I'm hoping that just dissipates. So we're just gonna keep whisking this for another, I'd say another 5 minutes, because it's not at the thickness that I want it to be at. So my stove, it's going to be 10 minutes. Your stove could be completely different. So, like I've said a million times in all of my videos, this is not an exact science. Like, it just takes some knowing your product or your stove, whatever you're using. So, actually, wow. It did take 5 minutes, but that's because I just got lucky, I guess. So, just know your product or your stove or your kitchen. That's what I mean to say is your kitchen, not your product. But, so, we're almost done here. I'm going to mix this for whisk this for another minute and a half. And then, if it gets too dry like this, just add in more milk. You see how it's turning into kind of porridge? I'm going to add in some more milk, and then we're going to add in the spinach. Alright, so another thing I failed to mention, by the way, this is spinach, but you want to put your spinach onto, if you're making either one, you want to put your spinach onto some paper towels and just let it soak in the moisture from straining it or washing it out, whichever one you decided to go with. And it should come out looking something like that, just dry. And now we're going to throw that in, put it back on the heat, because I walked away. And then we're going to get our whisk, and then combine this, and then we're done with the cream spinach. And I believe the chicken's done, so we'll get back to that. Oh, I almost forgot 2 ingredients. I'll be right back. Alright, so what I forgot to do was I forgot to, I made some onion slices, or onion squares, just by mincing up the onions, and I put about half of an onion into this. Well, first I made it translucent, which means just let it sit at the bottom of the pan with some butter. And then I added some... Sorry, I'm using my chin to hold the pan down. But I also added in some butter butter. Yeah, I already said that. But I added in some garlic into that mixture, and now I've just added it in. So we're gonna let this thicken up just a little bit more, and then we're gonna serve it. So I will see you guys in a minute. I'm gonna set this off to the side, and then we will focus on the green bean casserole. But But I'm gonna do that for a minute, and then we'll get back to cooking or cutting the chicken. So I'll be right back. Alright, so we're back at the taste test table, but right now it's not the taste test table, it's the cutting table. So we're gonna treat these just like before, and then, yeah, a little gray, but I don't know what gray means. I think it means overcooked. But so, we've got our chicken here. We're just going to cut it roughly into smaller bite-sized pieces. And then basically do that. Shred it, essentially. That's the word I was looking for before. But we're just going to shred this. And then we're going to put it into the dish right here. And I'm not going to tell you which dish to use because it's whatever dish you're most comfortable with, or if you have 5, 6 kids or whatever, use a big dish. If you've got, you and your significant other or your brother or something, whoever you happen to live with that you want to cook this for, I'm going with this one because I'm cooking for myself for the next couple of days. So I'm going to make it big. Well, big in terms of cooking for just one person. Oh, that's right. I forgot to peel back the skin. But so just know your audience essentially. So I'm gonna finish shredding this, and then we're gonna finish up with the soup, and then we're gonna put it in the oven. Oh, the soup and the breadcrumb Parmesan cheese mixture. Another thing that I've picked up. Hold on. Another thing that I've picked up over watching cooking channel and stuff like that, or watching cooking videos and stuff like that, is, oh, and my family. But anyways, get to the trick already. If you use 2 forks versus just a knife and a fork, it goes much easier and much faster. So get rid of that because I don't know what that pinkness right there means, and it's just in one area. But it was like a blood spot or something. But if you hold the chicken down and you shred it like that, it shreds so much easier than cutting it very finely with a knife and fork. Just see how quickly that disappears. But yeah, that's essentially what I'm doing. So I will be back in a second for you guys, but I'll take about 10 minutes for this. So I'll be back. Alright, so as you can see, I've got the shredded chicken and the green beans all incorporated into each other. And then all we need to do is add in our cream of chicken, and then we are good to go. So I'm going to go get a spoon just so I can mix this up more thoroughly, and I'll be right back. If I can hit the button. Alright, so as you can see, I've got all of my ingredients well mixed together. Oh wow, that's heavy. Well mixed together. And it's time to add in the Parmesan cheese. And then we're gonna put what's it called on top of it? We're gonna put some breadcrumbs on top of it, and that way we can add a little bit of extra flavor that we didn't have before. And I know this seems like a little bit excessive, but I really want to coat this in Parmesan cheese and breadcrumbs, so I'm gonna go a little heavy on it. You don't have to go this heavy. In fact, you don't have to really use it at all. You can just use the breadcrumbs. It's all up to you. It's just being a little difficult. And then once we do this, we can pop this in the oven, which you've already preheated to 400 degrees. And boom, wait 15 minutes, you're done. So I'll be back. I'm going to coat this in the breadcrumbs. I'll be right back. Alright, so we're going to pop this into a 400 degree oven. And we're going to wait 15 minutes, and then we're going to taste test. So I will see you guys in 15 minutes. One more quick little thing. I don't know your stove, but you know your stove. But my stove, I'm going to, at about 5 minutes, I'm going to turn on the broiler just to get the top nice golden and brown. So whatever yours set it could be, you could set it for 15 minutes and have to do that at 7. But you want to cook you want to heat up the inside, meaning the stuff under the breadcrumbs, and then you want to golden brown those up. So I'm going to turn mine on for 5 minutes, and then we'll see how it goes. Alright, so it's done. All I have to do is let it cool down for a little bit. You can see it right there. Right there. Right there. And the top's a little burnt, I admit that. 5 minutes might be a little too long on my broiler, but hey, I'm trying to learn how to use that thing. But anyways, I'm going to let this set for 20 minutes, and then, yeah, we'll set the table and then eat. I have a quick question for you guys, and then we'll get to plating, just like this, and then, but anyways, do you guys prefer this lighting, or the lighting that it's been the whole video? Because I just turned on an extra light over there, and I would like your guys' input. So let me know in the comments, or message me for those of you who know me. And yeah, I'm about to plate, and I'll be right back. Alright, so now, time for the taste test. The onions and the garlic that I added in were a little underdone, but it actually works out perfectly in this scenario because it adds a little bit of crunch to it. This is still a little warm, so I'm going to try and be careful. But there we go. Get a piece of chicken. That's very good. But this is just something it's really simple and really easy to make. And the good thing about cream of chicken is it already has chicken chunks in it. It just, you want to add a little bit more chicken because I feel the chicken already in the soup is too salty. So you want to kind of balance that out by adding some unseasoned chicken. Sorry. But yeah, this has been a huge success, even if I burnt the casserole. And this has been Cooking with the Cripple. I've been your host, the Cripple, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye!